Welcome to our podcast.
Our podcast.
I am Freddie.
And I am Noah, in fact.
If you can believe it.
I can believe it.
Well, so this is the first episode of this little podcast we're trying out.
Yeah.
We are new to the podcast sphere.
But you can't tell.
Yeah, because we're bursting with charisma.
And professionalism.
Yeah. Well.
It's gonna make us money. Hi, Jacob. You're the only one listening to this.
Hi, Jacob.
You're not even listening to this.
Yeah. So you're telling us you'll listen to it. And then...
Yeah, it's gonna... this episode is gonna be our little secret.
Yeah.
Not us and Jacob, just us.
Yeah. Okay, well, since we're here, our idea with this podcast is basically we're just going to sort of listen to albums and
so you don't have to.
tell you why you don't have to. No, so let's go back. So we're a couple of dudes who are pretty into music.
Indeed.
And we make
music even.
We make music even. We're always listening to new music and discovering new music, and we like talking about it. And so we figured we might just take one of our sort of normal discussions that we've been doing on and off with various group sizes for a couple years and just like setting a mic up. So yeah, I don't know, our idea is basically we'll just we will just sort of pick out albums to that we're interested in.
Whichever ones we want. Whatever strikes our fancy, you could say.
Yeah. I think it's going to be it'll be freeform, though, like sort of biased towards, I'm sure, like we're not going to be talking about, Abbey Road and Dark Side of the Moon kind of stuff.
Not yet.
Not yet.
When we reach 100,000 subscribers on Patreon,
then we'll do Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Turns 50 this month, actually.
Oh, does it?
Then I just saw that. Yeah.
Came out old. Why would anyone listen to an old?
Yeah.
Something that old.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't know. You see, like, music, every year, they have all the music that people have made, and they're like, okay, I have all this stuff, so now I'll make it a little better.
Yeah.
So it gets a little better each year,
Mm-hmm.
So
and then if you undo that 50 times, you get Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. So it's pretty trash, really.
I don't like it. More like Pink Fraud.
I don't know. More like Punk Floyd.
Yeah. The album we picked this time was Civilization is the Tomb of Our Noble Gods
it's French, like it would be Americanized, something like La Torture des Ténèbres. Like the French would be something like I don't know. French is a weird language
that nobody should speak.
Yeah, it's just like way too many letters. But I think the
if you're not gonna say them, why are you writing them?
Yeah, I think it would be something like that. But yeah, it's this. So it's the Canadian one woman black metal outfit. We just sort of stumbled on this album and neither of us had heard it.
Yeah, we're like, what's a better album to start with than one we've never heard?
Yeah.
So this one should be very digestible.
Yeah. We went for something very easy and it'll go down real easy.
Something to sing along to.
Yeah, play in the car for your kids, just whatever. Yes, this is Yeah, it's a black metal album. It's certainly in sort of more of the vacuum cleaner sort of vein of black metal.
Toaster recording.
Yeah, which is which is not a disparaging comment. I think
Yeah.
it's a good thing, but it is certainly a sound.
Nah, I'm not above that.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
What do you think, damn it?
okay, I guess, yeah, I'll start with my thoughts. Well, let's see, I'll start with, it's an interesting, very sort of like, it's a very particular kind of thing. It's like, I think, I read a little bit about it. It was sort of, I think the kind of idea is, it's music that's supposed to make your discontent with your life like so it's basically like so intense that you're sort of forced to change it or something. It's sort of a very particular that's sort of the concept, I think, with this project. That was a thing I read.
Life is a pointless, manipulative game. Do not be swayed by its false promises.
Where's that?
That's on the artist.
Oh yeah,
Bio.
The artist bio on Bandcamp.
That's all you get.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's very like there's a detectable kind of political slant to it, and there's sort of clear themes, but it's very it's very difficult to like parse beyond the yeah.
Bit abstract.
It's very abstract, but it's also that's part of the, I think, kind of the appeal of it. It's interesting, yeah. I mean, one thing I'll comment on is it's got an awesome fucking cover.
Oh, yeah.
I think I tried to find. It looks exactly like it could be a shot from Fritz Lang's Metropolis, but I think it's not, because I couldn't find information on the artist who did who did the album art, but like
it's Metro City from Megamind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You got it.
Just a screenshot that's still from that movie. Two of them. Yeah, knock them together. Black and white filter.
It's these two like buildings that look kind of Art Deco, like 1930s New York, that are like in black with like a big black and white grainy filter on them, and it's, I don't know, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My thoughts. I think I liked it. It was like a very I don't know. It's a difficult one to like make an opinion on.
Yeah.
It was, but it's very. I think it was pretty cool. I'll get more specific with that. It was really, yeah. It had a certain. I don't know. It was the sort of thing where it was like because most of it's like. I don't know. It's like when you spend enough time kind of sitting in the sort of wall of sound, it starts to have, I don't know, it starts to sort of become effective in this particular way, which is, yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll cut it there. We'll get more specific. What did you think about this album?
Well, I quite liked it, I would say. Yeah, wall of sound, it's a good descriptor for it, I guess. It's kind of, yeah, it was, I think it clicked for me in like the last song on my first listen. That's when I started to like understand what it was doing a bit more. Because at first it kind of just sounded like there's a black metal song going on, but at the same time there's like this low frequency noise that's also happening.
Yeah.
It's like leaving your microphone out in the wind or something. But yeah, it all started to gel together a bit more as I listened to it more, and then when I listened to the real Bandcamp upload instead of the YouTube upload, the sound quality was marginally better. Although it's not necessarily the kind of album where that matters. Yeah, I don't know. I think it like it has an emotional core to it, even though
Yeah, I
it's kind of it's like only technically a metal album. I guess I'd say
Yeah.
it's like very much a drony, noisy.
Black noise is sort of
Yeah, black noise is. Yeah, I guess that's the thing because this is that.
Yeah.
If ever an album was black noise, it'd be this. Yeah, probably one of the least accessible albums I've ever listened to in full. So that was a good one to start with.
Yeah.
It's the kind of album where like there are lyrics posted, but you just kind of like have to take their word for it.
Yeah.
So I can't understand a single word on it. That's like the actual vocals. There are some samples that you can understand, but
Yeah, it's almost like it's even to the point of like not only can you not understand the vocals, it's like hard to tell. You have to like really listen to be able to tell if there are vocals at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they could very easily be replaced by just sheets of noise, like harsh noise.
Yeah, with like a little bit of volume automation to kind of
Yeah.
give it a voice like quality.
Yeah, you'll like as far as I can tell, there's usually the whole black metal instrumentation of like guitars, drums. I don't know about bass.
Yeah, the drums are very funny. It was not funny is a funny word for it, but like when you really try to listen for the drums, it becomes kind of funny because all you can really hear is like
Yeah. Sometimes, like on some of the songs, they'll kind of pan a little bit, so you get the hi hat. Like, oh, it's coming here now. It's coming here. So my left ear now. That's my right ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you turn it up enough, you can start to hear things. But
Yeah.
I was one thing I was struggling with a bit with this album was I was just not quite sure what volume A I should listen to it at, and B was safe to listen to it at because my phone, you know how the iPhone, I don't know if you have this widget on your iPhone, but it like monitors like if the audio levels are safe.
Oh, I don't know if my phone does that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should set it up. It's
Or maybe I don't listen loud enough.
yeah, you know, maybe you can crank it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this one, it was like, it was telling me my ears were bleeding even at low volume, so I just couldn't really trust it.
Yeah.
Usually it's pretty good about it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
so it's, like listening to it a bit louder helped because it's like, okay, I can at least tell there's like a suggestion of some kind of metal thing happening. And like I can kind of get the intensity of that at the same time as the noise that's kind of just like blotting out the whole mix. Yeah, and then some kind of like chord progression. I don't know if it's like guitars or like it might switch. Sometimes it sounds a bit more orchestral.
It sounds like it sounds like a choir of demons who are you have like your ear to the ground and you can just barely hear the choir of demons in hell kind of singing up to you. I don't know. It's maybe how I'd describe it.
Yeah, it's not a happy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think about the 6-minute intro?
Yeah.
It wasn't even the metal yet.
Yeah, the intro is interesting. It was very I guess we should just like to describe like the sort of the structure of this album is the first track is this like dark ambient piece.
Kind of a sound collage.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff. It's got like these field recordings and some it's got like samples of old various like radio transmissions and things from old movies and stuff.
Fake movies.
It sounds it's hard to I don't know. Certainly, like, kind of esoteric stuff that paints a very, like, 1930s kind of image.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it sort of goes between those sections and then these big wall of sound black metal sections. Yeah, it's I guess I'll share this story on the air. The first time I listened to this, I was walking. It was after our we did a drinking game with Star Wars Episode 2. And I was like wasted and
then you put it on?
Walking, and I put it on walking home, and I was just like kind of like, oh, this is interesting on the first one, and then when the fucking black metal part comes in, it's so much louder.
Yeah.
On the second, it just like scared the absolute shit out of me. I was like so startled. So beware of that. Yeah,
Yeah, you might turn up your volume too much.
It's one of those things. Yeah, there's an element on this intro that's I don't know. It is a little bit. You get like a little bit of one of the themes perhaps on the album. It's like this monologue where it's this or maybe it's two people, but yeah, it's like it's this clip of like this guy, or it's like this man and this woman arguing, and he's like, yeah, I forget the specifics of it, but he basically is saying like, oh, you have to, or she's like, oh, I'm filled in this world with these awful men, and you're the worst of them, and then he says like, you have to use
you have to use men.
Yeah, this is like
take what you can get from them.
Yeah, it's like that kind of thing. I don't know. It's an interesting, like, it suggests, like, a little bit, like, there's maybe this sort of feminist theme going on. I don't know. I got
those vibes.
There's, like, a couple moments that sort of suggest that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the lyrics, if you look them up, because you're not going to hear any, on Machine Flesh of the City Girl seemed to enforce a little bit.
Yeah, no place, in the marvelous mechanical world, there's no place for a less than perfect girl. There's a less line on that song. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So it's funny that line is in a black metal song, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I tried to listen to the vocals, like, with the lyrics in mind, and I'm like, I can't even place them. It doesn't sound like she's saying words.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ah!
Yeah, it's very, yeah.
I can't do black metal shrieks.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet, one day. You're,
I'll be a shrieker. Yeah, the first song is called Column of Astrological Memories.
Yeah.
By the way. Cool track titles.
Yeah.
Very cool aesthetic, generally.
Yeah. It's very, the Doom of New Orleans is a pretty fucking awesome name. I don't know, what did you think of, like, what were we talking about?
The intro?
Intro, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the first track, yeah. Yeah, long intro. It is almost as long as the first proper track, which is track 2. But it's cool. I mean, it doesn't sound like the majority of the runtime of the album, but it kind of tells you what the vibe is going to be.
Yeah.
Because it's like just as like dense and chaotic sounding as the rest of it is, or almost as much. Still very like grainy and noisy and all that good stuff. Yeah, it was cool. It definitely felt like there's more going on than I could like make out, but I think that's also probably to a degree the point.
Yeah, that's sort of the whole album.
Yeah,
you always feel like you're like, okay, I don't know. It's almost a sense of like there's like a whole world under here, and I'm just kind of like looking at it through like this little peephole or something.
Yeah, it's like you're just getting this like corrupt transmission of something that used to be whole.
Yeah.
it's a cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's all I got for that one. But
Yeah.
I guess if we talk about the Great Escape from Capricorn City, that's kind of talking about most of the rest of this album now.
Yeah, it's sort of the most of the album. I don't want to say it's it kind of sounds the same, not in like a bad necessarily way, but it is like most of it is this like particular kind of wall of sound, which doesn't the timbre of it is consistent throughout the whole
It is
album.
very consistent.
And you can't like yeah.
Yeah, it's you get it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. You get the black metal. It's like there's a full black metal song happening, but then it's getting smothered also while you're listening to it.
Yeah.
And the noise. It's like the vocals are very like tinny and high register and harsh, like most black metal is, but then just like that lower frequency noise, just like.
Yeah, it's like a rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Yeah.
So it really. You can't really listen to it and experience it in the same way as like any other black metal album I've heard. The only thing even a little similar to this I've heard is Gnaw Their Tongues.
Yeah.
But even that sounds like, I don't know, Judas Priest compared to this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really, I don't know, it's sort of it's a very interesting kind of I don't know, combination. I mean, it's like clearly you clearly hear the black metal, but like there's so much of this it's hard to even put, I don't know. I was trying to piece it together, and I was like it's almost like like Burzum meets like fucking Lustmord or something.
Yeah.
And then like with just like this layer, I don't know, with this just kind of, and then just like louder.
Yeah. Clip the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know. It's the thing that does really change. I don't know, the thing that you upon kind of sitting with this album that really starts to stick out, at least I found, is the tracks do have a pretty, they have distinct kind of like melodic ideas going on within them. That's a pretty consistent thing. And it's interesting because actually it's not it's noisy, but it's never not like melodic, really,
Yeah, there's basically like the only parts that aren't melodic are like the like breather moments.
Yeah.
Where it'll be a little interlude of just like field recordings or something. But yeah, the rest of it, there's always some kind of melody or chord progression that's happening like above everything else, I guess. It just sounds like that's like above the rest of the mix, even though it's part of it.
Yeah.
And the melodies are often very, I guess, despondent.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like kind of longing even.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like call one to mind right now. It's like they don't stick in your head exactly.
Yeah.
But
I think I have Escape from Capricorn City going in my mind. It's like, dude. I don't know. It's trying to sing it won't work, but it's in my head. I imagine if I had to guess, it would be I bet a lot of this is this is really guess, but I bet a lot of it is more traditional black metal instrumentation with some electronics.
Yeah.
Rather than, but like, I mean, I say that because it sounds almost like there's like these big horns and stuff in it, but like that's the kind of thing you can, that's the kind of sound in this particular environment you can very much can often come out of a guitar or something. So but maybe it is it's just kind of like
there were like little moments that reminded me of like Emperor with like
big symphonic
symphonic elements. but I could never tell if those were like actually horns or if they're just kind of like suggestions of horns.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like, I don't know, that was like the character that, to the wall, I don't know. And that's sort of how I feel, it's, most of the album is like the wall, you know,
Yeah.
and so a lot of picking apart this album is like picking apart the wall, so it's like,
Yeah.
so that's like a thing, that was like one of the first things that struck me is this, I don't know, this hint of horns, and, I don't know, yeah,
It's very like monolithic, I guess. So the cover fits pretty well.
yeah. Yeah, that's such a cool cover. Yeah, I guess we're skipping around, like,
Yeah. Do you have like any highlights or anything?
I sort of have, like, I don't know, what I found started to happen, as it started to click more with me was the back half, it started to bring a certain emotional reaction out of me, which is very, interesting, and so I started to, I think, the track Machine Flesh of the City Girl is probably the most obvious example of that. There's a that one, that, I don't know, there's some really, it's interesting, I'd be curious, you know, if this would still be clear if you hadn't, like, heard the entire album before that.
Mm-hmm.
This is, like, the, fifth track on the album, so
Yeah.
it's, like, of, 8? So it's, but yeah, so it's, like, there's a thing, I don't know, I'm sort of interested in this sort of thing, in like droney kind of music. It's like, you know, as you listen to it, and it goes on, you start to, like, your mind starts to kind of, you know, when you first hear it, you're just met by, like, the most immediate kind of, I don't know, just kind of like the superficial kind of, shape of the sound, but then as you just sit and listen, you start to pick out these, like, little, you sort of ignore the big the big picture of the sound and start to just pick out little things going on. So there might be some element of that, but that track feels very, like, I don't know, has a very potent kind of sadness to it.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick for favorite.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one. Not that any is like.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of very.
Yeah,
it's probably either you like it all, or you don't like any of it.
Yeah, it's kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe too. It's just the melodic elements of it felt very pronounced, I guess. It does just have like this potent like sadness to it. I'd say a lot of the album does.
Yeah.
It's like there's anger, but it all just feels more like, I don't know, tragic or something.
Yeah, there's even some, like, I think that track has some, certainly the last, I think, track does, some, like, piano, like, actually, like, that's one of, like, the few, like, places in the album where there's, like, a recognizable thing that you can, like, there's this,
Yeah, it's like, just, you're listening to an instrument and you know what it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, yeah, there's a really, oh man, is that on Machine Flesh, or is that on the last track where it has, yeah,
where it cuts,
where it does, there's like a piano playing this melody, and then it goes, and then the wall comes back playing the same melody.
It definitely does that on the last track.
Yeah, maybe that's the last track I think of. Yeah, my favorites, I'm sort of split between Machine Flesh of the City Girl and the last track. As I listened to the album more, started to get like also a strong emotional reaction from the big suite at the end. It's really like there's something, I don't know, it feels, what I started to pick out is almost like it feels like my mind is sort of suggesting a story to attach to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in the second to last track, there's this speech, which is, I think, I might be wrong. I thought I saw somewhere it's like an FDR speech or something. That might be totally wrong.
Oh yeah,
I
I didn't know where that came from, but that was a cool speech.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it's like
There's a fragment of it. Anyway, that's like that goes on longer for a vocal sample.
Yeah.
It really it's just like you're listening to this now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's basically it's like a lot of the second to last track, like the end of it. Yeah, but it's like it's a speech about unclear exactly who he's talking to, but he's basically saying like I mean he's saying like we need better government, but there's like all this stuff about like class antagonisms and and these various I don't know it's it's kind of interesting to hear like how how like I don't know, just kind of the discourses change in politics.
Yeah, all that stuff would be very radical, I guess, if anybody said it now.
Yeah, you're not. I don't know. You can't really. It's very like clearly. I don't know. It's just like very sort of classic sort of labor kind of rhetoric, which is very I don't know. But yeah, it's I don't know. But like with that sample, I get the sort of sense of almost like I don't know. It's probably because I'm sort of this album. It feels very much connected with like with Metropolis, the classic film. But of course, I don't know. I get reminded of the end of that movie where the workers all rise up and sort of I don't know. It sort of gets.
I ain't never seen that shit.
Yeah, dude, it's a classic.
Well, not if I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. The last track kind of gives me almost this image of like this this just kind of like in this world that we're getting this weird broadcast from. There's like this there's finally the workers are like revolting and there's this there's this like glimpse of a better future and then it's just sort of like. And then the track just kind of like ends. The whole album just kind of ends out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just kind of stops. At a certain point, it just doesn't making sound anymore. That's about it.
Yeah.
It feels appropriate. It feels better than a fade out or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's so heavy moment.
Yeah. It's a thing. It's not certainly not nearly any or not nearly every album can pull it off, but it is like a thing I respect when it's done well. Just like the abrupt cutoff to end the album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine a different ending for it. Honestly, like what are they gonna? I mean, the fade out is kind of obvious, but
yeah,
is it gonna be like some like big rock ending where they all do like the I mean, it's a one-woman project, but I guess she just takes a guitar and does the like Pete Townsend windmill. Like, boom, boom. Drums are doing a bunch of fills.
Yeah,
maybe a little solo in there. And then you land on the tonic chord and boom.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So it just oh man. Yeah, I guess in terms of some other things, I think it's broadcast from the Phantom District. Yeah, I think it's that track where it has there's this moment of like it like suddenly the wall becomes very like stereo wide. You know what I'm talking about? It becomes like it suddenly it really opens up for like a second and you can hear suddenly these details that you couldn't before. And it just kind of it just like collapses back. Because usually it's pretty front and center, stereo-wise. It's like, it's not like a ton of stereo presence. And then it just kind of like does that. But it does that like a couple times. It's a weird, it's just like this weird little moment. But it seemed clearly intentional. Yeah. It would be, I don't know, it was...
I don't know if I remember right now, but I'm sure I would know what you're talking about if it was playing again. There's so much happening all the time. Yeah, dense was the word for this album. That like, it's hard to keep it all in my brain. I just didn't listen to it. I never listened to it.
Yeah, no, we neither of us listened to it. Yeah, sorry.
But you didn't hear it either, so.
Yeah, Get
That's what you're gonna call
Get
us out
fucked.
on it. So fuck you.
Yeah.
This was released on
Yeah,
New Year's
yeah.
Eve. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know.
New Year's Eve 2016.
Yeah. Like beginning of the year 2016 or end of the year 2016
Yeah.
because New Year's
It's
Eve.
Yeah.
So
that's how
that's
it works.
how it
Is you get
works.
the eve and it's 1 year, and then you get the day and it's the next year.
Dude, I never figured that one out.
Yeah.
It's just
So next time the New Year's Eve rolls around, you can get a laugh out of your pals and say, "See you next year," and even if you see them tomorrow, it'll be technically true.
yeah. Then you'll get a laugh out of
And they'll say, "Oh, you're a riot."
the and then they'll kill you.
I would expect a drone fan to have a better time with this album than a black metal fan.
Yeah.
Not that there's
It depends
no...
on the black metal fan, but like
That's true.
yeah.
These days it's probably more often, but a lot of...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
with
it's certainly-
black metal fans, you can never tell if it's going to be the annoying ones that type V's instead of U's, or people who like Sunbather. That's kind of the two kinds of black metal
That
fans.
is kind of the two kinds, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's interesting how it's, I don't know, it's like there hasn't been, like, a big kind of, like, black metal canon album in a while.
That's true.
Like, but it's like one of these things where it's actually pretty alive in, like, the very, very underground, like, just, like, Bandcamp shit like this. There's, like, a lot.
Yeah, people are... There's probably a black metal album that comes out every day on Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's there's so many of these artists. I don't know, but I think this
It's the bedroom pop of metal music.
kind of is.
A little bit.
It's like you really don't need very much equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. This certainly I've definitely listened to a decent bit of Bandcamp sort of black metal in this. I would say rises above the pack. This is really, I don't know.
It's not just Philosophum again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you get for a lot of them.
Yeah. Again.
But this time, make it shittier. Record it better and make it sound worse at the same time.
Yeah. Rather than a Nazi, it's a 19-year-old anarchist. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another thing worth pointing out is it seems like this project isn't a Nazi black metal thing.
As far as I can tell.
You never quite know. It
Yeah.
could be some weird Nazbol whack shit. But, I mean, I feel like the class antagonism bits and vaguely feminist messaging. I feel like this album is pretty anti-capitalist in spirit.
Yeah, I get that.
I may be wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't know, other people, the other, like, 15 people who have heard this album seem to agree, I think. So
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out to people who aren't Nazis.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. Any more specific thoughts?
I guess just I recommend it.
Yeah.
If you want something a little probably outside of what you listen to, statistically speaking. Yeah, I listen to a good bit of black metal, but it doesn't sound like any of that really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just kind of sit back and let it happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Kick your feet up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's a cool, I mean, it certainly, yeah, I don't know, I've like, if you're like a fan of noise music, explore drone kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Probably more so than metalheads, I would recommend this to you, which is kind of funny, but it's
Yeah, I mean, if you already listen to like a lot of like noise, just straight up noise, then this will probably be up your alley.
Yeah, I would say like I don't know. It's a little bit of it's maybe like Yellow Swans. Or
Yeah.
like Jeffrey Cantu Ledesma, however you pronounce his name, is I don't
Yeah.
know, like that kind of noise ambient stuff is kind of close in character.
Yeah. It was a cool one.
Yeah, it was a cool one.
We give it a number. Are we doing that?
I don't know how useful is that for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if I had to, I'd probably throw an 8 at it, but
Yeah.
out of 10, that is.
Out of 100.
Listen, if you get above a 5 out of 100 on my rating scale, then it's pretty good.
One of those people. It's like I don't believe any music deserves above a 5 out of 10.
99% of albums are just 1 out of 100.
I'll maybe give you a 2 if you're really great. If you're fucking Mozart, I'll give you like a 4. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's like a group of people, I don't know if this will be worth keeping in, but there's a group of people on the website, Rate Your Music, that...
Believe it or not, we're on that website.
Yeah, you may. This is indeed where we found it. And they're all like, oh, you know, the best kind of rating scale is one in which everything, like the distribution is centered around a 2 out of 10. So most albums you're going to rate a 2 out of 10. And then any that you just like don't like are a 1 out of 10, like at all. And then a 2 out of 10 is like most things. And then the rest of it is just ever so slight increments of liking it a little bit more. And then only one album gets a 10 and maybe like 2 get a 9 or whatever. It's like this is a much less negative way of rating albums because I give everything a 2 out of 10. I've seen like so many accounts do. I think one guy started it or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know, that's.
We should kill him.
He started a movement with among people who don't talk to other people about music in real life.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the whole touch grass thing, but
yeah, no,
I don't know.
That meme had its.
They're still trying. They're still trying to keep that one going.
Yeah, I guess I do still hear it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Might have. We might be escaping the meme part of that one's lifespan. That phrase's lifespan, but it's just graduating to just part of the vocabulary, general vocabulary, which I don't like, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's annoying. I think it's this weird way of like, I don't know, shaming people for having interests.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes there's truth to it. I'd say in the case of people who rate every fucking album of 1 out of 10, that's probably true. But
I don't know. It's like calling people virgins for like liking a thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's like kind of funny to a point, but then it's like
it's like if you enjoy anything artistic, then that means you have never fucked.
Yeah.
And by extension, anybody who does have sex is just like a boring, I guess, like NPC who only listens to like their YouTube recommended page is just indistinguishable from the trending page, and they just like click the first thing that comes up on Netflix every time or whatever. And
when they go on their Spotify, they just like shuffle today's top hits.
Yeah. And that's everybody who has slept with another person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just these kinds of jokes. I feel like it's supposed to be like it's funny because it's kind of true sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, it's just jokes, but like it's kind of like a terrible way of just looking at people, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all like,
It's like everybody is just like just terrible, I guess.
yeah, it's rooted in just like I don't know. I don't know if we should, I feel like it's not a thing like incels came up with, but they're just like the strongest followers of it. It's but it is like kind of it like goes back to the sort of incel in all of us,
Yeah,
we all have this sort of like people who fuck, people who don't, kind of.
Yeah, it's like
thing. I don't know.
People who fuck are so different than people who don't or haven't yet. And I don't know, not to be an SJW, but asexual people exist.
Yeah.
So it's all the virgin jokes. It's like, maybe they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
leave them alone.
It's like, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Those ones that are like, oh, you like My Bloody Valentine? I guess you've never held a woman's hand. It's like, I'm over it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think this needs to go in the podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get this far, but
I know.
I think this needs to be... This
needs to be said.
Yeah, it needs to be said.
This is we're fixing the world one shitty conversation at a time.
Yeah, and then when this podcast really pops off in 50 episodes from now, and then people are like, oh man, this podcast is so good, I'll have to listen to the first episodes, and they'll listen to this one, and then they'll change their shit.
Their shit's gonna be changed, dude.
Shit don't change unless you wipe your ass.
Don't say it.
That's the end. That's the full lyric as far as I can remember.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Just don't change unless you wipe your ass. Bye, man.
That's a niche reference. On that note, I don't know.
That's definitely the first niche reference that's been made in this.
Certainly. No, the rest of this has been totally accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long has this shit been going on?
An hour or something.
Yeah. Well, it's...
Yeah. Well, I like the album too.
I take solace in knowing that this is the first podcast episode that has ever reached an hour in length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeping up with like the Joe Rogan podcast would be like a fucking part-time job.
Yeah, seriously.
My God.
It's gotta just be, you just gotta like, you drive to work every day, you live in some fucking city where you have to commute like half an hour both ways, so it's like, you just can get an episode in or whatever. And,
it's like a part-time job where all it does is it just gets you kicked off of social media.
Yeah.
You didn't say your thoughts on their general thoughts.
I don't know.
Or did you?
I sort of did. I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the album. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I don't know if we should keep that numerical score. I don't know. It
does feel kind of weird coming over to somebody's like passion project to be like, well, it could have been 2 points higher.
Yeah.
On my fucking scale.
Yeah, especially something like this. I don't know. It's like so. I don't know. You really start. You really get like the feel for just how, how like putting a number to the quality of a piece of art is just like so
reductive.
Yeah.
It's like I have no doubt that this sounds exactly how it's supposed to.
Yeah. It's there. Anyway,
any numbers we may or may continue to kind of slap on an album is just personal enjoyment.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really the part to take serious, I think. And, yeah. Anyway.
Not that you got this far.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, well, if you did get this far,
we thank you. We give you a thumbs up and a fist bump.
Yeah.
And I would shake your hand.
I would too. I would shake your other hand, in fact.
Do you want the left one or the right one?
I'll take the right one.
You fucking
So you get the wrong one.
You fucking would.
Yeah.
I'm not left-handed. Just not. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah. You're right-handed and proud.
And I'm tired. I'm tired of people saying I can't say that.
Well, on that note. Well,
listen to it. Civilization is the tomb of our noble gods. It's not on Spotify. I mean, the podcast would be.
Yeah.
But the album
Hopefully.
not.
Yeah.
So maybe you found this by trying to find the album.
Yeah. In which case, I hope this was a worthy substitute.
Yeah. So now you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you around.
You can't tell, but I'm waving goodbye. see you next time. Where we'll talk about another one.
Another one.